Oh, it's so shit. It's unreal. I cannot believe this. I don't know if it's just me or I'm seeing something which is totally shit. But yet other people are saying, "Ah, oh, it's so good." Ah, oh, it's amazing. So Canon, I love Canon. I've got the 5D Mark II. I use it all the time. I've got the 550D, and I recommend people buying the like Canon 70D or 700D or whatever it is these days, if you're getting into photography. But the one thing Canon's never really done very well is progress its digital SLRs into the 4K realm. Oh, look at this! Panasonic GH4 shoots at 4K, 100 megabits a second, nice and easy. 30 frames a second, no problem, all that kind of stuff. So there's cameras out there, nice and small, that can happily shoot 4K if you want it. You can even get it in a tiny, teeny weeny GoPro Hero 3 and a GoPro Hero 4. 4K is not an impossible thing to get, but Canon, for some reason, just doesn't quite bother putting it in any of their cameras because we've got some professional camera somewhere else which costs about £10,000. Like, oh, we can't. Oh, we've got this expensive one. Oh shit! If we put it in our cheaper cameras, oh, we're gonna lose some market share or some pish like that. But so what they've done is they've brought out something. They have just disabled it. Like they have taken a hammer to both kneecaps and then dislocated its elbows and snapped its neck. In disability terms of a camera here, and yet still saying it is fantastic. It's worth $2,500. But and then this is what I don't understand. I'm going to Engadget, and they say the Canon XC10 camcorder shoots 4K only if you have a C fast card, wherever the fuck that is. Looks damn good doing it. I'm sorry. Where in that image does anything... I'm sorry, this dead zombie from Mortal Kombat, I would say, looks better than this monstrosity of a turd of plastic I'm seeing. Just say that just looks like unergonomic piece of shit is what it looks like to me. Okay, so let's go into some of the amazing stats here. It can shoot 1080p, well done, and 4K at up to... Well, no, 4K is just 60 frames a second. No, 4K is only up to 30 frames a second. 1080p is only up to 60 frames a second, which is fine, but, you know, you're not going to be using any slow-mo. However, you can only use 4K if you're using some weird thing called a C-Fast card. I'm just having a quick look. SanDisk C-Fast card, trying to find the price for these things. SanDisk, 60 gigabytes. £331. Okay, so that's a pain in the ass. So you can't. So I can put an SD card into this that I can get for about £12 from eBay, no problem, for shooting 4K without any problems. If I want to shoot 4K on this thing, I need to spend another £300 on a memory card, which just why did they bother? And then it goes into, it's got 12 stops of dynamic range. Is that going to be impressive? I'm not that impressed by that. And then they say it's a 1-inch sensor. A 1-inch sensor? That's okay, so depth of field, no, doesn't. Like the Panasonic GH4 is a micro 4/3 sensor. But listen to the word, micro 4/3. 4/3 of an inch. So if you imagine an inch broken into thirds, it's got an extra one there. So it's 4/3 of an inch. So the sensor in a Panasonic GH4, which pretty much is difficult to get shallow depth of field unless you're doing very close to the lens or you're doing macro or you've got a very, very shallow, very, very wide aperture lens. The depth of field is nothing compared to what you get even in an APS-C, or definitely nothing near what you get in a full frame camera, where you can get buttery, soft depth of field because your lenses are completely different. But with this, this you're not really going to get any depth of field. So if you're going to go, I want some cinematic looks, It's not down to the number of frames a second you get, it's about how shallow depth of field you can get in some of your shots. Okay, so sensor size, shit. Dynamic range, meh. Then here's the kicker. 10 times wide angle zoom lens. Wait, what lens is this? 10 times wide zoom lens. Hold on, let's go to some details. So this isn't one where we can, for example, let's say, take the lens off, put another lens on, change a different aperture, do all that kind of stuff. No, what is this lens? This lens is a phenomenal 8.9 to 89 millimeter focal length, whatever that is. So certainly, if you want wide field of view, like what you'd give the Panasonic 7 to 14 millimeter lens, which is about as wide as you're going to get anywhere, it's not even as wide as that. So if you're kind of, well, what it's saying is it's meant to be the equivalent of, I'm sorry, I'm having to look at other pictures here. Equivalent focal length of 27.3 to 273 millimeters. Okay, so 27.3. No, it doesn't really happen too much with myself. That's a bit too narrow for me. I'm sure at 273 millimeters, I'm sure you're getting a fairly good kind of macro or like depth of field maybe. However, unfortunately, it's not a constant aperture. What is the aperture? So at the widest, not too bad, an f2.8. At its longer end, or pretty much as soon as you start zooming, down to 5.6. So yeah, not the best. Not the best there. And the one thing which I haven't noticed before is that when they say, oh, it's a great meld of digital SLR and video camera together, it's all great. Yeah, if you're taking a photo, file format, only JPEG. So no raw photos there for you to use at all. Darn. But in the end, to me, it's just like, that looks like utter shit. So again, so you're probably thinking, oh, Dom, you're being really harsh. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. Maybe it would have some uses. Can't think of any at the moment. Certainly for the work which I do, let's say I'm taking shots of Edinburgh, the city, things to do in Edinburgh, certain locations in Edinburgh. Would I use this? Not a chance. I can't change the lens, I can't change the aperture. Well, I probably could, but it's already fairly restricted as it is. The ISO seems to be pretty good, goes up to about 2,000? No, 200,000. No, 20,000? 100 to 20,000. Okay, so you may need to be having the ISO up fairly high here, but it's like its shape is just, that looks so, it's in between video camera to digital SLR, and it's the mutant child in between, which isn't good in either way whatsoever. So yeah, I started, and yet hold on, best bit of it all, where is it? $2,500 $2,500 for the no Canon, no. Let's just go with fast forward already and get that price drop, bring it down to the $899, $905 range. I think that's more what it's like. This is such a beta testing camera. Whoever buys this for $2,500, oh, you really didn't research too much into this. This is utter gash. And do you know what? There'll be the XC10S within about 8 months, or the XC11, and it'll be cheaper and so much better. Which, okay, that happens with all technology, but this is especially shit. Yeah, trying to be the digital SLR to the, like, even the video cameras nowadays are doing interchangeable lenses, and just that 27 millimeters. I find that a fairly useless place to be. But wow. Like, I'm really impressed with how just Canon. How did you just, where did you think this is a great idea? How much do you think it should cost £2.5 grand? Yeah, 2.5. Oh, it's totally worth 2.5 grand. No, it's not. It's barely worth $1. Oh, I just. This is so something which will be left on somebody's shelf and never get used. Unbelievable. Golf clap, Canon. Well done.